What up, man? It's your boy Loudmouth Beats, aka DJ Loudmouth, man. Y'all can catch me every Wednesday at Hubbly Bubbly. We have another installment of the Red Dirt special interviews, and I'm sitting here with Raul.
What up? What up?
What it do, man?
Man, so good, man. I'm living life, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So just to let people know who you are, who may not exactly know where you come from and what you do, just give me like a little introduction of who you are
For
and
sure.
what it is that you do.
For sure, man. Raul, man. MC, man. Where I'm from Lawton. I'm from Lawton. I claim Lawton, man. I've been in
Okay,
Lawton since junior high school.
for
My
sure.
folks in the military, so I got that. I got a good eclectic type upbringing. You know what I'm saying? My pops being from Chicago, my mom's being from New York. So,
Okay,
and then back and
yeah.
forth, Germany, Kentucky. We ended up settling in Lawton, man, in the '90s, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were you born at?
I was born in Germany.
You born in
I was
Germany?
born in Germany. I was in New York till about 5, like almost immediately after I was born,
Yeah.
went home, probably like within the first month.
Okay.
And then I ended up leaving there when I was around 5. And by that point, my folks had, gotten married, got stationed in New York, and then we just kept bouncing back and forth.
Okay.
And Lawton is where we ended up staying at. So I got to Lawton about beginning of my 7th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I listen to your music, I hear a lot of East Coast
For sure.
influence. Yeah.
For
All
sure.
right.
Yeah.
So how much time did you actually spend on the East Coast in New York? You said your mom was from New York?
Yeah.
Okay. And you only stayed there until 5 years
5,
old?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But it was always going back and forth to the summertime, my cousins, those my legit day ones, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
anything and everything about New York for me is tied in with family.
Okay.
Long Island to be specific,
Okay.
but yeah, man. So yeah, there's a lot of and even knowing the 90s, and I'll say, because granted, I got into it in the 80s and I started writing little rhymes here and there. It probably wasn't until I got here that I was like, I'm really gonna do this. Like, there's no, yeah, I took other paths later on and stuff, but I think that's the generation we came from too. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other conversation. But
Hmm.
yeah, my style is definitely rooted in 90s East Coast boom bap.
Hmm.
I get down with everything else. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because I love MC8, I love Dog Pound, just like the next one.
for sure.
Growing up during that time frame. And I'm always the underdog one. So I'm always going out for the, you ask Jay-Z and Nas, I'm gonna go with Nas. You know what I'm saying? I'm always
Right.
going for the ones that are not really, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like celebrated in that light of the mainstream, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
and even the down south stuff, you know what I'm saying? Scarface all day long for me.
Okay.
But my style, the way I carry myself is definitely all East Coast. I can't shy away from that.
That's what's up.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, it really comes through in your music with the boom bap type beats and the focus on the
for
lyrics.
sure.
I always knew that you were heavily influenced, at least if not from the
Right.
East Coast. So you say you took it more serious once you made it to Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think around that time frame, just as we were getting ready to leave Germany at that time frame, so we're talking 92, man, for real, for real. That's when I was like, oh, I'm just, I knew there's something that I have, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't want to just do it as a hobby. You
Mm,
feel me? Um, yeah, because I was the storytelling, even as a young at that age, then the storytelling aspect of it, the lyrics, you know what I'm saying, that
hmm.
that emphasis on that, I knew where my lane was at. You know what I'm saying? The songwriting came, what I'm saying, obviously later on, but
Mm.
definitely around that time frame was like, I'm good at this. I can do this.
That's what's up.
You know.
So, were you in high school? Were you just like earlier
It's
in the
early
school?
junior high around that time frame. So,
Okay.
granted, I didn't get into the studio until probably the mid 90s
Hmm.
after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Well, probably about 93, 94, I met somebody. Um, but even then, it was always like cautious of the scamming and,
Hmm.
different things like that. I didn't understand a lot of it.
Hmm.
Obviously, at that age, you don't have an ear for, as an engineer would. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So to be asked, okay, we need some money to go record this demo. Like, we just recorded a demo and it sounds great over here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, even back then, it was looking like kind of suspicious on certain takes. But, um, the access, you didn't really have anybody around. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own little setup if you were lucky to find somebody like that with a 4-track
Right.
recorder or,
Yeah.
some type of program you could throw on a computer or something like that. But that's what it was, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go into these old ass studios where the technology is 10, 15 years plus in there with the reel to reel, that big old cassette
Mm-hmm.
looking deal, you know what I'm saying? Like that was wild to me, you know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
never recorded anything like that on myself, but I've been in certain situations where like, oh shit, this is what it is, you know, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I always found myself by myself. I always found myself coming out of pocket for a majority of people that I was running with. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
back then. So it was like at that age, I didn't, you know, I ain't had no job, you know, on certain occasions, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was
Yeah.
like, how you gonna do this? You know what I'm saying, by yourself, you know?
No,
So,
I can definitely relate, bro, for sure, for sure.
yeah.
Because, I've spent money with artists who I believed in and, you know, um sometimes you feel like you're not on the same page
Oh
as
yeah,
everybody else is.
man,
So no, you definitely got to be cautious about that for
for
sure.
sure.
Because if you get mixed in with the people who are just looking to have fun with this or
Hmm.
not taking it as serious as you're gonna end up burning through a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money, a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of wasted energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Feeding it into something that you believe in versus the other, you know, ones that are involved with it all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so Jeezy, perfect example. You know what I'm saying? He always say every time he started out, it was like I was putting money into something that didn't want to be, you know, no money put into. So he started out himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Because sometime along them instances, that motherfucker really talented and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you just wasting your talent doing whatever it is that you're doing when you're
Mm-hmm.
not in the booth. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Or not taking it seriously, you know? So
Who were some of like the artists that you can remember in Oklahoma that may have influenced you or inspired you
mm.
to move forward in the music career?
um there's one cat in Lawton, man. Early on, since we talking about that time frame and that moment,
Mm-hmm.
he was a real good influence of mine and shit, man. I call him Red Eye Villain. But uh in most recent years, man, as far as two artists in particular, man. They're both a little younger than me. But just being there and seeing their wave, you know what I'm saying, what they accomplished. I'm gonna say my guy Butterball, you know what I'm saying, because he's um at a time when I was with him, man, I was really not only was the focus on lyrics, the focus was on the artistry itself,
Mm-hmm.
songwriting. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? Um, so just the amount of talent that he has was tremendous and shit. And then I'll say Fuzi, man. Fuzi was a good influence, you know what I'm saying? Just sitting back and watching him come up, um, making his wave around the state, you know, whether it be radio, whether it be um, different shows and stuff like that he had lined up around here. Out of state too. I mean, I know he made some waves out there. His persistence. His
Mm-hmm.
persistence more than anything, you know. And there was always conversations, you know, behind doors about who's better because it was always a thing of anywhere you go, and this is what I was trying to get at online and stuff. I was like, we're gonna save it for later.
Yeah.
Um, that spot for number one was always there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There's more than one person, and more than one person does their own thing. And for this case in particular, you know, um, I think the respect or the reason why for the respect in both lanes were so much different. You know what I'm saying? The one thing
Mm.
we'll always hear is the musicality behind Butterball. You know what I'm saying? Or over here, how real Fuzi was and how he just presented himself. He just had that aura about him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so just sitting there, just watching this shit, man. Before I even met, you know what I'm saying? Either one of them was like, okay. Butterball I've known, you know, for years, for instance, but um just you know you sit there and you watch everybody how they carry themselves, you know what I'm saying? I'm still like that to this day, you know, who's really there out there that's fucking with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Or who's carries themselves as a man personally, you know, first and foremost,
Mm.
you know what I deem as such, you know what I'm saying? But I would say them two for sure. For sure.
So, last interview, well, I just posted an interview with Menace Rodman.
Yeah,
He
man.
brought up
Same
Butterball
name,
also
for
and
sure. And Fuzi, yeah.
Fuzi, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Are these Lawton artists too?
Yes,
Like
sir.
grew up, yeah,
Yes,
mainly
sir.
known in Lawton.
Yes, sir. And one
Like
thing you gotta understand about law, I don't mean to cut you off, but one thing you gotta understand too, it's not just the military base there or Goodyear that brings all these different transplants. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Um, I might be wrong, but I think Fuzi's from a small town around here. I forget the name of it. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, everybody cutting their teeth in Lawton.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I know, Butterball has ties to Memphis and Mississippi, all these other places and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, these people cutting their teeth in Lawton. You know what I'm saying? And then
mm.
venturing out towards, you know what I'm saying, the city and Tulsa and all the, that's another thing too, man. You got to make your name outside of where you from sometimes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's a whole
Yeah,
nother
for sure.
conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely, man, these guys are from the town, man. I mean, they're hometown heroes for sure. Man, God rest his soul, Foods, man. He was, like I said, his perseverance and his story, and I'm not the one to tell it. I wasn't in the inner circle like that. But um man, that guy's resilience, man, before he passed was just incredible.
Mm.
And that's something to be admired. Even if you didn't like the music, you know what I'm saying? Just to sit there and be like, hats off to him, you know what I'm saying? So,
That's what's up.
um, you know, I forget forgetting the artist's name, man. What's the guy's name? R&B artist? What's else?
Super
Super J.
J?
Super J, man. Fools had a record with Super J called Long Time Coming, man. Like
Uh,
that's the one. That's the one right there. You know what I'm saying? That's
okay.
if you should know Fools, you should know him by that. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So,
okay.
but yeah, outside of him, and Butter, there's other guys that didn't really make no waves and they were just around the town, just home like on some real underground shit. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Before anything else. And then there's guys along the way that made their waves, after that. You know what I'm
For
saying? No, as
sure.
far as pulling back, like what I pulled away from each of them, like I said, with Butterball, it's the musicality behind him. The way he approached his song structure, his writing, the way he chose to switch up his different styles. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always some type of boom bap element in what I have, right?
Yeah.
Um, but whatever the music is telling me to do, I'm gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
And I just sitting there in the studio long enough with him, and not only working on my project, but I was working on a mixtape back then called The Graveyard Shift, and I'll say about 70% of it he, recorded and mixed.
Mm,
Um, on the same time as he was working on one of his projects. So I was able to see a lot of the times how he approached, his song structure, his writing, his cadence, different things like that. With Fuzi, despite everything he went through, he was consistently dropping music.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So you always see him either recording something, you always see some type of BTS, you always see a video, a new project dropping, and if anything, not just anything else, because I am a fan of his. You know what I'm saying? But the perseverance, that's it right there. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Like I understand life, and this is one thing I appreciate. This is one thing that I should have been telling myself that I never listened to. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Trying to give advice to other people and shit,
mm-hmm.
right? But life happens,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get fired, you lose a loved one, you got a breakup, you got kids. You know what I'm saying? All this other stuff that happens in life, and as an artist, never mind how you manage on a day to day when you just gotta, work that 8, 12 hour shift and go back
Mm,
home to a family.
mm-hmm.
But things happen and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think through everything he was going through, he was able to just, see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Um, so compared to now, well, I'll say it like this. I know the first time I seen you out was at a um it was like not a showcase, it was like a media type of thing over at Castle Road Studios where they
Mm.
were doing like music reviews
Yeah,
basically.
it was something dope for the people.
Yeah.
Jeremy Heck over there, and I forgot Buddy's name, but he was from Lawton. I found out too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was the first time I seen you, and I was there as a producer just trying to get my beats
right,
played
right,
in the
right.
room full of artists, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But yeah, I remember you and accepting the constructive criticism
for
that
sure.
they gave everybody, including you. Do you like how much have you been outside since then or before then? Like, can you compare the two? Because
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
remember seeing a lot of you. And do you feel like the more that you go outside to promote your music and like, just promote yourself, are you getting more notoriety from that?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're constantly out there in the public. The conversation we had before about how consistent are you in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't want to warm up my welcome. You know what I'm saying? And I know what I can do. Um, I'm gonna get in a tangent in a minute, but to stick to your question though,
Yeah.
That was my first appearance outside in Oklahoma. That was in January of 2024. I
Okay.
just got here like Christmas time. So I ain't even been here a month when that show, what it was. And if I
Yeah.
had known better, I would have went ahead and performed that day too as well.
Yeah.
Um, but that was my first appearance out here. If we're going, at an event. My second one was the following month at Respect, same thing, Castle Row, with the Respect Music Live show.
Yeah.
And I
So
had
when
no
you say that was your first time in Oklahoma, you
like
mean in the city?
coming back from Oklahoma because initially, and I guess another part to your question, initially I was in Florida. I've been back in Florida since like summer 2016. I was out
Wow.
there, right?
Okay.
Completely stopped doing music, was going to
Mm.
film school, I was going to Full Sail, turned around, went to the Art Institute of Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to say 2022, probably around COVID, really, as I was just fucking around, is like, let me get back on this mic real quick and see, you know,
I feel like
what I
COVID
can
did it for
do.
a lot
COVID
of
did a
people.
lot, man. If I had known better, man, I would have hit the ground running from COVID. I would have been on my 10th project by now, I promise you.
Oh
I
God. Hell
promise
yeah.
you. But COVID happened, done deal. Again, you're going through the motions, relationships, and trying to build back up, find your jobs again, all of that. And then I started working, man. I started working again, and then about 2022 was like every few months I found myself in the studio more and more, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
writing more and more. Top of 23, mind you, I'm still in Tampa. Again, now I'm hitting the ground running. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing any showcase I can do, any pay for play, any, $25 you get to do a song out here and then a freestyle afterwards. God rest his soul, Shmoney is got Shmoney out there and uh K Ruth. You know what I'm saying? They had a platform out there called Lyric Cafe, right?
Mm.
So from that, it was like, all right, boom. I'm doing what I'm doing. Same thing you see me out here doing now, but it's a way different crowd. You know what I'm saying? We talking 20 something, early 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Everybody
Mm-hmm.
doing drill, trap, you know what I'm saying? A little jilt music, how they do out there and shit,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, Doshi from that area too, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So um essentially after a while, you find your tribe. You know what I'm saying? You find the ones that do kind of the same similar style of music. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like if I was out here, I can't even say who I'll be out here running with because we all got kind of, you know what I'm saying? The ones that I like, the ones that you see me perform, supporting and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in the same vein and shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But it would be like I don't know, finding me in the most drill, most trap setting, and then turn around and finding like L Smooth and these guys, you know what I'm saying, Kyle Fo and those guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be something like that. So essentially, I started moving around with them, not as a clique, you know what I'm saying, but showing up and supporting, right?
Right.
So one thing I told myself the minute that my daughter got accepted to OU, so I was like, fuck it, I need a reset, so I'm gonna come back out to Oklahoma, but instead
Okay.
of going back to the town.
Move to the
I'm
city.
gonna move up to the city and shit, man. That way
Okay.
I'm a little closer. So yeah, man, I was like, shit, I'm gonna do that. Started hitting the ground running. I knew Kyle Fo from when he was going by Takeoff, you
Take
know what I'm
off for
saying?
sure. Yeah.
And that's just running around with Butterball, running around with them and coming up here and supporting the shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting on certain shows out here. What's it called? Mango back in the day. I think
Yeah.
it's called, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just showing up and doing showcases out there too. A little bit, but during that time frame, I was more so stationed in Oklahoma at the time, or in Lawton rather. But yeah, coming back out here, man, I took a break. I didn't February to like summertime. It was just I had to go back to the drawing board because the project that I had, I needed some mixing done, man. It's just about the music itself, and
Yeah.
that's what I learned at Cafo's at the Respect Music Live showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my guy, State Gang Vince, man, he was like, "Yo, your shit was dope. That mixing is horrible."
Wow.
Yeah, but no respect to him. You know
But
what
you
I'm
need that
saying?
sometimes. Yeah.
Nah, yeah, yeah. I'll take constructive criticism any time of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that don't bother me none. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause if
Yeah.
I don't want no yes men around me, I damn sure don't want somebody swooping my head up on some shit that's false. You
Right.
feel me? So,
Right.
but then again, too, as well as I do, when you're doing music and you listen to it so much, you start to get that what they call demoitis and shit, right?
Right.
So
Where you
that
don't.
first
Right.
version,
That
like,
just.
if the final
That's
product
it.
don't sound like I did it in the bathroom, this shit ain't going, right? You know what I'm saying? So nah, but I went back to the drawing board. I got all the stems I need to get, you know what I'm saying, from the producer. Shout out to Ronsky. And from there, I just took my time out, man. So actually, and I don't know when you're gonna drop this interview, but Black Friday is the 1 year anniversary of the project, Where's I Manifest.
Okay.
So that right there, it was a good thing for me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely it was my first full length project. You know what I'm saying? All original music. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, no group projects, no mixtapes, nothing like that.
Mm.
And yeah, man, I was able to knock that shit out. So around that same time frame is when I started hitting the shows up.
From 2016 and before, were you focused on your music career at all, or was it
Yeah,
more?
so let's say I had gotten into some trouble, man. So when I got out, I was in Georgia, man. When I got out, I came back to Lawton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was 2012. 2012, I was getting my foot in, man, linking back with people that I had worked with in the past, just little one-off kind of things, studios and stuff like that. Um, Certain things didn't pan out, for whatever reason. And I got back down with my guy Kevin, man, Black Rain, KGMG with Butterball and all them. So this is around that same time frame I was, what I'm saying, with Butterball a lot. Rather than working on like a full-length project at the time like I wanted to do, because I couldn't find the producers for the sound that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and go on the mixtape route.
Right.
So between the mixtape route, doing battles, which I'm not a battle rapper by far,
Okay.
but
You was
doing
out there
battle, but
though.
I was out there, so it was like I got lumped in with that because what we were doing initially was going to the spot where, and that's the thing about platforms too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people talk about the artists and working together, but you also have the platform. You also
Mhm.
have to have things like Boom Bap Wednesdays, the platform, Respect Alley. You have to have things in place for these artists to congregate and, almost fellowship in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a spot called Babalu's around that time frame. That's where I met Menace for the first time.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Menace. And then, but sitting there in Butterball hosting those nights, and it's supposed to be a showcasing, and then it morphs into this battle,
Mm.
kind of battle league in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So I got thrown into that shit, man. And that ain't, like I said, it's not my thing, but I started working on a mixtape then, and then right as I was getting ready to release it, I moved. So I was in Atlanta for a little bit, and then I went back down to Tampa at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was definitely around that time frame because even before I got in trouble, man, I was already working on some stuff and just trying to figure out the lane out there in Atlanta at that time frame. But it didn't work out. It was what it was.
Atlanta is really diverse too around
Yeah.
that time. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, man, people can like find any of like your older stuff on YouTube at all, or is
Yeah,
any of it findable?
I got a few videos out there. I got two videos specifically. If you go on Scholar Kid Visuals,
Okay.
I got a video called The One, and I got Home Base. And I got
Home base that's more recent.
Yeah, so Home Base I've been performing so much, and just that's the go-to because that's the one to get everybody hype a little bit. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah. How old is it though?
Man, Home Base I did in 2023.
The video too?
The video too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was on a humbug. I wasn't even supposed to shoot that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Everything I had I had two videos lined up, top of the year. I think it was like 2022, and I came out here and everything fell through, man. The featured artist had moved the week before. The shit got fucked up with the Airbnb, all of that shit. So I was like, man, fuck it. I'm not even gonna do nothing right now. Spoke to Mariah, you know what I'm saying? We put that on hold. I came back at the end of the year. And then another featured artist on another song was like, I can't do it, I can't do this, da da da.
Damn.
I'm like, all right, cool. Incidentally, his son was doing a project during COVID that I was a part of. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna do a video to that. And then Home Base, you know how it is, man, as an artist, man, we just grab some shit off YouTube and start writing. And my partner had his instrumental EP that he put out. So I started writing one of the songs there, but I was like, I'm not gonna use this beat. And I threw it to my guy T West. Shout out T West out in the town. He built the beat around the vocals. So the night before I even shot the video, we in the studio. I flew in the night before. We in the studio arranging the music, and then I turned around, used that demo to shoot the video downtown up in Bricktown.
That's wild. That's some real artistry stuff.
Yeah,
right
and then
there.
turned around,
Yes.
went back to Tampa, recorded the actual version, and then got the video mixed off of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's hard. That's hard.
yeah, yeah,
Home
yeah.
base is definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah, and I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying
it. I
that you
appreciate it.
do
So
for
actually,
sure.
that's as old as it is, you know what I'm saying? I never really, it was intended to go on a project.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't have the music that I needed at that time to make a full length project off of that, I put it on hold and I worked on Words That Manifest. Like
Mm-hmm.
the minute I was like, I'm gonna do an EP by the end of the year, guy Ron Ski just sent me a beat pack. So I was like, all right, I picked 7, 8,
Mm.
and then 6 out of the 8 that I recorded.
That's what's
I
up.
did like
That's what's
that.
up.
So now Home Base is about to be on a new project. Now I'm about to release.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So as far as you being back in Oklahoma and just, maneuvering and trying to get your name out, um, what's the experience been like as far as wanting to perform or collaborate or just supporting? Like, what's been your experience?
Man, so my experience, my experience has been a good one. It's been eye opening. Um, as much as things change, there's still nothing new under the sun. So you're still gonna have the crab in the barrel mentality. You're still gonna have folks that feel like they deserve more than others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on that side of things, on a more positive light, man, um, being able to venture out into these different platforms, being able to go out to Boom Bap Wednesdays, you know what I'm saying, and holler at L Smooth. And every time, not every show, but periodically, hey, you want to do another one in a couple months? I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Because these are relationships that you're forming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, coming down to the platform, you know what I'm saying? What Kyle Fold and Respect Music Life had down there at Respect Alley, like trying to build that camaraderie amongst other artists, despite the fact that you guys have different types of music, you come from different backgrounds, whatever the case may be, it's still almost like a family oriented bunch. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, for me, anyways, I'm more comfortable where I'm at in terms of where I'm getting the love and the support at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not everybody gonna show up every single time. You know what I'm saying? But guarantee somebody gonna come, at least once. So one, two, three people gonna come,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, periodically, right?
It's kind of like a go where you celebrated type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, but not only, but I don't like to limit myself to that either. You see what I'm saying? Because if I do that, then the same people you're gonna see the same faces,
But you
right?
gotta figure out where you're celebrated though. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right. So for instance,
how's it been for you to like just going around and just seeing where you're gonna get support at?
oh man, anytime there's a showcase something like that, I think out of respect, you're always gonna get love, right? You're always gonna get a little bit of support, right? Whether or not that sticks, that's just up in the air, from platform to platform, right?
Mm,
Um, but to be able to go out and you have to be able to willing to go out there and test the waters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the crowd at platform, for instance, is going to be entirely about me. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Um, again, everybody's gonna clap. They're gonna show support, right? Because you did a good job. You didn't fuck up on the stage. You know your words. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? You had the energy and all of that.
right,
But do you fuck with the music?
right.
I think as artists, that's something that we need to separate ourselves from everybody else.
Mm,
Is the performance. That's what's gonna set you apart. You come out there with merch. That's gonna set you apart. I was just out in Wichita Falls in Texas this last weekend doing the show. I'm the only one with merch out there.
mm,
And you can tell the guys that are just coming up versus the guys that are seasoned and pretty much veterans in this, right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all of that is gonna set you apart, man. And of course you get down with certain crowd, not certain crowds, but I know like Lyric, for instance, has his own, following, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
he puts on an event, that's just another way for me or any other artist to go out there and see what I can grab from that. You know what I'm saying? See who gonna follow me from there. Or next time I go to another event, man, you was at Lyrics last joint. Yeah, I was there. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
remember you, blah, blah, blah. I just did a joint at El Reno with Clean Caution. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Hustle and all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm meeting new artists out there too. That was a dope, experience. You know what I'm saying? So you're never gonna know unless you try.
Yeah,
Right. And you'll be foolish as an artist to just stick to the same bunch. You know what I'm saying?
it's
To the
true.
same,
Yeah.
I'll be crazy and not to say that it's and this is definitely not a hit, nothing like that. But as an artist, like, I'll be foolish just to stick around with Money Wave and pop up and just because the only thing and not say he don't have a big following because he has a huge following from what I understand, right? But I need to go over here and grab some of this following too. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
for sure.
Who's gonna be at the Hubby Bubbly on Wednesdays when you run platform, right? The few fans that are gonna be there, you know what I'm saying, versus who they're supporting, is who they come with or whatever,
Right,
right?
right.
Those things, like or going down a Respect Alley and just meeting a whole bunch of new artists that I could possibly collab with. You know what I'm saying? Just out of that, I got a handful of records with Kyle Fo. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I got
yeah.
a, I got a, I got a record with 2U's coming up soon on my
Okay.
project. You know what I'm saying? Like Fat Boy, I found Fat Boy through Respect Music Life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just you have to be willing to go out there. If not, you're keeping yourself in a bubble, and
Right.
you're never gonna really be able to find not just your tribe, but your fan base.
I think it depends on the actual showcase or platform
Absolutely, yeah,
that's being had at the moment,
yeah,
because I think all of them have their purposes, you know what I mean?
facts.
So but I wanna go back to Florida.
Yeah. We're talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you the differences
Yeah.
with you networking in Florida versus Oklahoma. What are some things that you can say are different?
Man, Florida, just in Tampa, I felt like was a bigger market.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously you got not just Tampa, but you got St. Pete, you got Clearwater. So then right there in itself, you got where Doshi's from, you got where Rod Wave is from, right? And that's separate from Orlando, that's separate from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in that general area. So for them three places, it was going from if we're talking about the differences in platforms and support out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
then we're going from the ones that are in the younger generation that are doing the drill, or they're doing trap, or they're doing juke music. You know what I'm saying? Um, then you got your guys that are doing a more '90s style boom bap, or down south or Midwest or West Coast type flow. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I think Tampa's a melting pot like crazy. I've never seen anywhere outside of being here where you have different styles and they're noticeable
Mm.
because you have different implants coming from up north or coming from the West Coast. Here's like outside of Fort Sill, and this is another thing too, like in the '90s and shit, right? Outside of Fort Sill, you're gonna get your different variations of styles the further north you go. You know what I'm saying? So for me, a lot of the guys sounded like from the West Coast in the city. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You go to Tulsa back then, they were sounding like they're from the Midwest.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my take on that. What I saw coming up.
Yeah, a lot of people
You know what I'm
would
saying?
agree with you too,
Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
so Tampa was just all of that, and then what they got down there. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I can't sit here and say Rod Wave is, he embodies that sound. No, he don't. He don't. You know what I'm saying? You got guys got like Tom G, a
Okay.
legend out there, right? Shout out to him. He has his. I think he embodied what Tampa sound is. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I don't want to say like Miami bass type sound and shit. You know what I'm saying? But shit you could dance to, my motherfuckers are spitting at the same time.
Okay,
You know what I'm
cool.
saying? To me, that's Tampa sound. As
Yeah.
far as the support is concerned, like I said, it's so much broader than just Bricktown or the Hubbly Bubbly or these one little event centers that people will have around here. You know what I'm saying? These are places that are established for years that respect indie music, that respect underground music. So you're constantly being able to do things like that, or even the strip clubs, man. I never in
Mm.
my life thought that with my music I'd be in a strip club doing performing. Right?
Hmm.
I did 3 strip clubs
In
in Tampa.
Tampa,
In
okay.
Tampa,
Wow.
throwing money while I'm emceeing,
Okay.
doing my 1 2 1 2. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to H, man. He this guy H. I think he's from Delaware. He's a phenomenal platform, man. Not only does he do shows throughout the year, but he actually has a festival that he puts together for 1 week every September,
Mm.
right? Lawton 7th. So where that is like, let's say we did something in Bricktown, right? And you got all them clubs down that one street.
Mm.
Every night, every club's gonna be involved in something that you're doing,
Mm.
right? So whether it be you're doing something like the first time I went out was 2023, and I did 2 shows. It started on I think on a Sunday or a Monday it started. I did Friday and Saturday, 2 different shows, right? Same location, but that's just what I was able to tap into at the time, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about on a Monday night, shit popping.
Wow.
And I'm talking about the club pack. You got about 10, 15 artists doing their thing, right? And it's just a whole network all throughout the week, and different things, different events. You might do a trap karaoke. You might do like a social, like a kind of a network thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you're doing meeting different podcasts, you're meeting different media outlets.
Mm.
You know, things like that are good for the community out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it helps them establish some type of system where you're meeting other people outside of producers, outside of artists. That they keep that culture moving out there.
So it sounds like the system is more inclusivity with the system out there, like as far as the establishments, the
Yeah.
people that are in charge of creating ways for artists.
Right.
In Oklahoma or OKC, you always hear that artists need to support more.
Yeah.
We need more support. Um, from you coming from Tampa or experiencing Tampa in that way, it sounds like we need more outlets that we in more on a regular basis.
It's a double-edged sword, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only do the artists within themselves and their music have to be consistent, the people that are presenting these platforms have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what's what. You know what I'm saying? The dude H is credible MC. Look up his shit online. It's like, damn. And he was on one of some part battling, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
At one
Freestyle
point. You know what I'm
Fridays.
saying? Doing Freestyle Friday. So,
What?
you know what I'm saying? Phenomenal MC,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he chose his lane. He this lane right here is where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Outside of different ventures that he has, putting on these events for these artists, that's his lane.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what kind of pitfalls or what kind of knocks he gets against him, whether it be financially, whether it be relationships being soured because somebody's doing some fuck shit, or everybody thinking there's a lane for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lane for everybody. That's all I could say about that. You just got to be able to stick with that shit. And when you do it, everybody's gonna come. Unfortunately, on the double-edged sword side of things, this game is about opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of opportunists in there involved with it. You know what I'm saying? So that networking might not be so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That networking might be on some more, well, you ain't really got to follow me, so I'm not gonna fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fuck with whoever makes sense for me to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Until you show me otherwise, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have a platform, all right, man, it's gonna be beneficial, and I fuck with him. He cool. All right, I'm gonna come through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be consistent. We have to be able to support those things. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody's coming in at the gate doing something new, not even something new, you know what I'm saying? It's just new for them. But there's already a platform. Doesn't mean that new one can't exist either.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got some shit going on social media right now, about award shows and shit. I get it, man. Hats off and respect to the ones that came and did it and are still doing it.
Yeah.
And if you can come through and provide something different, okay. How many showcases are out here? How many people are out here doing, open mics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's room for everybody because the crowd is 9 times out of 10 is going to be a little different from what you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I don't see nobody coming up, a handful of people that'll come up to the platform that are the same as coming up to Boom Bap Wednesdays.
Right.
Right? It's a different area. It's a different type of crowd and different themes. You know what I'm saying? So solid music is going to be where El Smooth is more concentrated on boom bap, and there might be something that slides in every now and again. Everybody's going to come with their particular sound or style of boom bap, right? When it comes down to the platform, you got a little bit of everything mixed into that, right? So you always got to do something that's going to make you stand out from the other one. That's the only thing you're going to, for me, that's the only way you're going to survive out of that. Outside of staying consistent, and be able to draw people's attention. All that shit on Facebook, that shit's for the birds, man.
Yeah.
You're not accomplishing anything by saying we don't need to be fighting. Well, you fighting.
Right.
You fighting.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, kill that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, people got this idea of unity is always unity. It's not just unity. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just like in a relationship, it's not just love.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take support. It's gonna take communication. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like in this game, man, to me, and everybody got their own principles, all of that, right? For me, it's about if you stand up or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect you to show up every time I'm doing something. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I put it out there. My show, like for instance, I did a show. Not everybody showed up that I show support to. It rained like a motherfucker that day. It got rained out, but
Man, don't that
it
be the
was what it
worst,
was
bro.
though.
Oh,
It was what it
God.
was though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So fuck it. So I turned it from this big ass show that I thought it was gonna be. Not to mention the guys that I had on the bill
Right.
to open up. Half of
Right.
them couldn't show up. Jacoby couldn't show up. You know what I'm saying? My guy Willie and Phil from Lawton, they couldn't show up. You feel me? But fucking around with Respect Music Life, and I already had Des Vaughn, I already had El Smooth on the bill. You know what I'm saying? Added somebody else, we're gonna do this shit and we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it made it a little bit more of an intimate affair. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's how
Right.
That's how it be a lot of the times
Yeah,
too.
you know, so and I know I got off the question a little bit, but now essentially, man, the platforms have to stick with it too. And these
Yeah.
artists, you know, we have to look at it like you got to be able to build something. You got to be able to pay your dues in some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
that wasn't the case, then we all be living great right now. We all be on tour. We all be having multi-million-dollar record deals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can't sit here and engage myself based off of somebody else with a 20-year career that's steady been doing it and getting paid every, you know what I'm saying? I won't dare do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I know where I'm at. I know
Yeah.
where I'm at lyrically. I know where I'm at with my songwriting. I know where I'm at with my performing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I might do a show here and there where I'm not gonna get paid, but there's shows I'm getting paid for.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I step out of the city, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be I'm selling my merch out there or I'm getting paid by the promoter.
Yeah. As far as like politics go in the city, what's been your experience with that?
I don't deal with politics, man. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find me brushing elbows with anybody I come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? If I'm coming through to your spot, you see me. What's up? I'm in the building.
Yeah.
What's good with you? You know what I'm saying? If Lyric throws something, what's up with you? Blah blah blah. I met Narcus at one of his spots. What's good with you? Kyle anything that I'm at, I'm rubbing elbows with whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money Wave, all of that.
Yeah. And that why is that important?
I mean, outside of just saying, hey, this is me and this is who I am.
Being a man.
You know what I'm saying? Just being a man, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming to you because this is your shit. You know what I'm saying? Not only am I in the building, what's good? My name is Raul, blah, 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 show face. You know what I'm saying? And without saying thank you, that's thank you for having this platform.
Yeah.
Off top.
Yeah.
Off top, you know, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But as far as getting in with the whole yeah, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think whatever you're rewarded should be off your own merit. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Everybody cutting their teeth in this, right? So whatever you're gifted should be based off of what you put into it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's always gonna be something political behind it. There's always gonna be, I'm not from here. So somebody from here, let's say, you know, they're probably gonna get more play because they know more people out here. They're gonna have more people come out to their shows. They're gonna have more people voting. You know, that's gonna be a given. Unless you really had like a wave, your shit is undeniable. You know, you can't fucking your shit is playing on the radio. All, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you constantly in somebody's face, it's the only way that I can say, okay, yeah, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Because my shit might not pick burn. You know what I'm saying? It might have picked up that traction that it needed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that because I know I'm not that type of artist either, though, that I'm chasing just for records.
Speaking of that, what are your goals? Like, where do you see yourself going with the music career?
Man, right now, I just want to have a steady career, man. I look at it like this. At this point in time, and I know not everybody's fortunate enough to have some type of passive income. I got that right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to typically work a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if I'm able to make the same amount of money that I was doing at 9 to 5 last year or this year, whatever the case may be, I'm cool. I'm cool. Let me make 35 to 4,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a little bit more than probably while the average person is gonna make. But in my mind, that's probably about the amount that I'm going to need to make to not only sustain the lights, you know what I'm saying, electric, rent, and all of that shit. I'm able to funnel a little bit back more into his career and
Yeah.
keep it moving, right? Um, you know, obviously, you know what I'm saying, I'm no spring chicken in this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of getting that multi-million-dollar deal. If it makes sense, I'll sign it. Hell yeah, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I understand the importance of being independent as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I understand in my lane, in what I do, there's guys, you know, and I even mentioned in this interview yet, you know what I'm saying? There's guys that I met throughout this year that have sustained 20, 25 years in this industry, whether it's DJing, whether it's MCing, you know, guys that may not hit your radar or the next person, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you listen to. But I can almost guarantee you there's somebody you've been listening to, there's somebody you respect that you would have no idea how they make their money outside the music when you don't see a project drop.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you sit back and you look at that, that to me, that's the bigger picture right now at my age. You feel me? I'm looking at them like, damn, okay, I can do this. And shit, I just made 300 at a show last weekend. And it's, oh shit, bro, I can do this. The numbers gonna add up,
That's
you
what's
know,
up.
but you have to be able to know what you're doing and where to pull the money from. It's not just monetizing on Facebook. If you're an MC, if you're a rapper or artist or whatever,
Yeah.
it's not just social media. You know, it's damn sure ain't streaming platforms. You know, you have to actually get out there and get it yourself.
So with you being as seasoned as you are, what type of advice do you have for artists who want to have that type of consistent stream of income through their music, as
You,
far as performing, getting paid for performances, and
if we're talking about strictly on a performance-based thing, I mean, obviously, to me, there's no way around that but to get out there and spend money. And
mm,
eventually, it's anything really, you're gonna have to go out there and spend money. You have to spend
mm,
money to buy your shirts for merch, right?
mm-hmm,
Just know your crowd and know where you're gonna price it at.
mm-hmm,
You know, don't lowball yourself, but you know that part, right? But going out there and doing these shows, that's what's gonna get you noticed. So when you're able to do that and you're able to see people come from out of town that have and make those connections and make those, you know, network in that sense, you're able to go out of town and do that.
mm.
Right? I might, you know, when I'm planning next year, I might lose money. I might break even. I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna take a gamble on myself. I know that for a fact.
So
You know,
that's a big part of it. You got to gamble on
you have to
yourself.
gamble on yourself because if
Mm-hmm,
not, you know, like like my guy said, I bet it all myself every time. You know,
mm-hmm,
like you have to. If not, where are you gonna be at? You know, you're still gonna be complaining that you gotta pay $15 to perform on a showcase or something like
mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're not willing to do something outside of because let's cut it. You're not making money off of rapping anymore.
Mm,
Rapping is the vehicle. Everything else you put inside that vehicle, that's where you're getting your money off of.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna let you know whether or not you're cut out for this shit too.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the thing is just about staying consistent with it and being able to gamble on yourself. So that's the advice that I would give. If you want to make money off of this, you got to find something that you're going to make money off of because it's not going to be music. Not right now.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people right now laugh and say, oh man, why you got a vinyl at your table? Or why you got a CD? Well, it's because I want you to pay for my shit because I know my shit is worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of how great it is to pay $10 a month, nobody's getting that money from it.
Yeah.
We're not getting money off of no streaming platform. I don't care who's behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Not no real money. I mean, what, point zero zero
Point
zero
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 zero zero
one
zero.
dollar,
Right.
a
So,
penny or
you
whatever.
know, if you
And
damn.
Spotify doing people even worse.
Oh, Spotify is horrible. And now,
Yeah.
like recently, I see, you know, Rock Nation is in the news about with their new distribution uh platform and how they do their stuff, right?
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's no different than when these companies were getting artists for these records.
that's true.
TLC making
TLC.
point zero
Yup.
zero zero zero. When anytime I think about that, I think about Left Eye breaking out. You know what I'm saying? Doing the math on that, right?
Yeah.
But that's what it is, though. You're making fractions of a penny every single sale, unless you're independent.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers laugh. 50 laughed at Jim Jones and them for going to Koch Records and Dipset and all these guys, but they making $9, $10 off of every CD.
Mm.
You can't be mad at that. You can go platinum money wise in your pocket
Right.
with 10,000 units sold.
Yeah.
10,000. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember there's rumors going around people in before before Houston had anything popping, everybody was like, oh man, you can go platinum in California if you're independent and you got that, you know what I'm saying, you got that traction, you got that motion out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Texas. When Texas came out, all these stories you hear about Paul Wall, Switch House, all these guys making money and shit just off this little chitlin circuit of Texas and Louisiana and all of that.
Yeah.
Same shit. Now I think right now where the game is going is going back to something. It's probably gonna go into a little hybrid of the digital age versus pulling up at the gas station and selling shit out your trunk.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
definitely
already,
need to
you
come
know what I'm
back in
saying?
some fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Look what I think it's like a tap card or something like that. Chance the Rapper got.
Oh
for his
yeah.
last album, right?
Yeah.
Look at something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I guarantee you, when you start going to these major events, you're gonna start seeing things like that, where you're able to just, all right, let me buy this for $5, maybe $10, tap it on my phone. I got everything I need from this artist right here, or I got this one release. Boom, Words Unmanifest EP, just by the tap of a card, right there on my phone. The only way I could lose it is if I fuck up my phone.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
even then, it's in the cloud, so
it's
you
in the
really
cloud,
can't lose it.
right?
Mhm.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if you're really a fan of that artist, you're gonna take care of them in that sense. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's what it is. I think it's a whole ecosystem for everybody to live off of, but we have to cooperate in some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have to respect you guys as podcasters, as you know, any type of platform that you have. You know, the showcases, all of that, vice versa. And then when it comes down to the listener,
Yeah.
you know, they gotta be able to invest in it too.
Yeah.
They want to keep hearing it. You know what I'm saying? This is what you have.
For sure. Is there anything else you want to promote? Anything you got
Man.
coming up? This is probably going to come out around mid-December, late December.
Mid-December, late December. All right, so by that time frame, I should have a single drop by that point called Raw Fashion, produced by my guy Riley J, cuts by Ron Ski. Everything recorded at Block Made. Shout out Jay Roller.
Shout out Jay Roller.
You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be out. That's gonna be part of the rollout right there. I got one more Boom Back Wednesday that'll be done by the time this drops. I don't have nothing right now booked for December, man. I think I'm gonna chill right now and just work on this album as yet untitled. But for sure, y'all gonna get it top of the year, man. And just like stay tuned for content, man. Raul of 88 on all platforms, man. IG. I'm more active. For some reason, I'm more active on my personal Facebook than I am on my artist. But you know, regardless, man, y'all can find me up there. My IG has all my links to all my social media, my Bandcamp, all of it, man. Raul of 88, RAUL of 88, man. Yeah.
Already, brother.
Facts, man.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by,
Man, I appreciate
man.
you having me, brother.
Already, brother.
Sure.
And yeah, man, y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up, man. It's your boy Loudmouth Beats, aka DJ Loudmouth. Whatever you want to call me. Red Dirt Special, and we out, man.
Shout out to the town.